MAGA needs to answer for something, and they've never answered for it. They've never even responded to it. During the Republican National Convention, Grindr crashed twice. And Grindr, for those of you that don't know, is the gay Bumble for gay people. And a lot of hookup, a lot of messaging about hooking up, especially when you go to a new place. It can geo-track people around you. It crashed twice during the Republican anti-gay. We're big Christians. We want, America to be a Christian nation. Grindr crashed twice. And so I want to remind everybody that Laura Loomer outed Lindsey Graham. Now, he's been outed multiple times before. Personally, I've had a gaydar ping on him for at least 15 years, but I digress. Put up this from Laura Loomer's deposition. Miss Bogler asks, the witness says, several of President Trump's staff have told me in confidence that Lindsey Graham is gay. And then the attorney says, hold on, Miss Loomer, there's no question. So Laura Loomer's under oath and wasn't even prompted. And she just outed him under oath voluntarily that Lindsey Graham is gay. And then now she's doubled down on it since this deposition is leaked. The Daily Beast is reporting this. Laura Loomer, I quote, outed GOP senator because I was under oath. The right-wing activist has doubled down on her claim that a GOP senator is secretly gay. And so, I mean, Pumps, when you take this, we talk about this a lot because the Republican Party talks about gay and trans and lesbian and rainbow flags and get triggered by the rainbow mafia and drag queens reading books and drag shows. And I am surrounded by gay men in my social life. I hear MAGA talking about gayness and queerness far more than I do gay people. And then when you combine that with the aforementioned Grindr crash, which Grindr has, they've got the software and the capacity.
We're not talking normal traffic here.
Right. Okay. What do you think about all that?
Okay. What I think about it is if you are screaming and you are so triggered and you are so worried about gay people and you have to talk about genitals and who's got what in their pants and who's going to what bathroom and who's having sex with whom and why. And I think history will show, look at the Moms for Liberty. You just pick out any Republican gay hater. They've got gay stuff going on because people that are completely comfortable with their sexuality are not talking about it all the time.
Right.
So these are people that are repressed and they hate it that other people can have shame-free sex with whomever they want and they're stuck because of their religious hypocrisy. The more they have to say it, they're trying to convince themselves, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You're having to tell me all the time people that are gay are bad, and then Grindr crashes, and everybody knows other people are gay, and all the breadcrumb leads to gay. For example, Moses Mike Johnson, he and his wife are big conversion therapy, gay conversion camp therapy. That tells me they're thinking a lot about being gay, and they don't want it to happen. And in my opinion, that is because they are struggling with that same issue.
Yeah, I mean, it to me, it seems like such a bizarre thing out of all of the problems that societies can have. That is not the one that I would put at the top of the list. I would put income inequality.
Right.
If you want to fight crime, the best thing you can do is lift people out of poverty. I would think that Christians would want to, instead of talking about just clearing out homeless people and arresting them, I think they would talk about wanting to provide housing, mental health services, addiction services for them. But they don't. It's like their number one issue. And if you ever get into the right wing side of the internet, like their number one go-to, like to criticize you and me, is that we're trans.
Right.
Like they're so eaten up with that issue, and their number one identity is, and to me, I think, religion just sexually represses and shames something that we're hardwired to do so much that all of these issues come out of it. And so I just wanted to make sure we had on our show that Laura Loomer outed Lindsey Graham under oath. And then she responded by saying, yes, I outed him because I was under oath.
Right.
That what I said is true. And everybody in the Trump administration has told me that Lindsey is gay. So Lindsey obviously is super religious. And whether he's gay or not, I'm always going to fight for your rights, Lady Graham. I'm always going to have your back, sis, always. All right. But here's my problem with you, regardless of your sexuality, because I love you no matter what, Lindsey. I'm going to vote for the real you no matter what. But here's my problem with you, Lindsey. This is your foreign policy comment right here. Play the clip.
It's late at night. Israel is in a fight for their lives. Our friends in Israel are surrounded by people who would kill them all if they could. I am tired of the word genocide. Let me tell you about genocide. If Israel wanted to commit genocide, they could. They have the capability to do that. They choose not to. Hamas, they would commit genocide in 30 seconds. They just can't. And that's the big difference, folks. To people in my party, I'm tired of this crap. Israel is our friend. They're the most reliable friend we have in the Mideast. They're a democracy, surrounded by people who would cut their throats if they could. This is not a hard choice if you're an American. It's not a hard choice if you're a Christian. A word of warning. If America pulls the plug on Israel, God will pull the plug on us.
No, for fuck's
All right,
sake.
right there. So your foreign policy is based on an Iron Age book. And that same book is the reason that you can't be who you want to be and who you were born to be. To quote Lady Gaga, you were born this way. But the foreign policy based on if God will favor us or not. And this is the thing that people have to understand, because we live around all of the Christian Zionists, which I call rapture preppers. And in the Bible Belt, there are all of these Christians that are prepping for Jesus Christ to return to the earth to take them all up. And in order for this to happen, Jewish people have to be in Israel. This same group of people, I'll call them WASPs, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, are the most anti-Semitic people that I know personally. And Pumps really grew up in these circles. And I mean, the most anti-Semitic stuff you've ever heard come out of the mouth of rapture preppers.
Right. All racism is the worst I've ever heard in those circles against everybody.
Right.
Including, but not limited to, Jewish people.
And so I just think there's a huge problem here when we have politicians telling us that we have to do certain things to favor God, while at the same time, when we criticize other countries like Sharia law, which for the record, I completely oppose. I oppose all mixing of religion and government. But they say that's crazy. You know, they have God in their religion. There's no difference between these Christian rapture preppers and or Christian Zionists who are inherently anti-Semitic, more so than anyone I've ever met. These rapture preppers, there's no difference between them and the terrorists that want Sharia law, want women to wear burqas, want women to not be able to drive cars. You have to be, chaperoned by a male. That's where America's heading. And Pete Hegseth proved this recently when he retweeted all of Christ all of the time, a video wherein his pastor, who is a protector of pedophilia, a member of his church that sexually abused his own infant. This guy welcomed him back into the church. That's who Pete Hegseth, that's what kind of church he goes to, said they don't want women to vote. So this is the Lindsey Grahams and all of the Pete Hegseths. They want exactly Sharia law, and they want it for Americans. And we have to stand up against this nonsense. We have to stand up against this because it is utterly dangerous for women and children and members of the LGBTQ plus community and minorities. And let me tell you something, you guys, we all know Multiculturalism is what is the one thing that we have that's cool. We don't have all the old buildings and the architecture and all that stuff, but we have multiculturalism. You can come over here and be an American, and that's what makes us cool.
Well, they're trying to whitewash history. Like, look no further than the Smithsonian. They're trying to make everything accessible and better and keep white men way above everybody else. And here's the deal, they're not disguising it. We've got this pastor saying it. We've got reproductive freedom being taken away. I mean, they're not hiding it. White women, wake up.
Okay, and I just want to flag something. I found this headline to be interesting. J.D. Vance found time during his vacation in England to hang out with a former star of The Apprentice who was once sentenced for handling stolen goods. Vance hangs out with convicted Apprentice star in booze-fueled vacation barbecue. So I just want Kylie, if you'll zoom in on the eye. I noticed I zoomed in on this.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wearing eyeliner on the vacation. And I found that to be rather interesting. If you zoom in on the eye, it looks to me like we are eyeliner free. And so the vice president of the United States is out there getting all liquored up, is best friends with Peter Thiel, who wants women to lose the right to vote, is also best friends with Pete Hegseth, who wants women to lose the right to vote. And apparently when he vacations out of drag. I'm going to keep watching it because y'all know one of my pastimes to just kind of like as a calming salve for pumps in me when it just seems like shit is falling out of the sky is what degree of eyeliner is J.D. Vance wearing today? Right. All right. So we're keeping an eye on Smokey Eye Sociopath who's getting all liquored up over in the Cotswold with, of course, a felon.
Right.
And please support our show. We want to thank you guys so much for getting us to 1 million subs. Go order our book if you haven't. It's pinned below in the show notes. Subscribe and like this video. We'll see you all later.